Don't make these mistakes if you're thinking about moving to Birmingham, Alabama. If you know ahead of time, you can avoid stress, headaches, and wasting money. Here's mistake number one that I see a lot of buyers make when moving to Birmingham: not researching the neighborhoods. And here's the truth: Birmingham is not a one-size-fits-all city. Hoover, Vestavia, Pelham, Mountain Brook, each city has its own vibe and price point. What I often see is buyers picking a house online, but they really don't know anything about where the house is located and about the neighborhood. Maybe that home looks gorgeous online and it's checking all those boxes that you have, but the neighborhood doesn't quite meet what you're looking for or doesn't have the amenities that you're looking for. Maybe that home is just too far from family if you're moving here to get closer to family. Maybe it doesn't have the amenities that you need. Maybe you're looking for a pool, tennis courts, running areas, any of the amenities, or a fitness center that's located in your neighborhood. So before falling in love with that house that you find online, let's check out the neighborhood to make sure the neighborhood is going to be a place where you want to call home. So drive through that neighborhood at different times of the day so you get a good feel for it. And if you're shopping from afar, which is probably why you're watching this video, then find someone local who can go and drive through the neighborhoods for you, take some video, get you on FaceTime so that you have a good feeling of what that neighborhood's going to be like. The next mistake that I see buyers make is commute times. When you are far away, you have no idea what the traffic patterns here are in Birmingham. And let me tell you, going up and down I-65 can be very tricky for your morning commute or your afternoon commute home. So trust me, a 20-minute ride on paper can sometimes turn into 40 minutes. You know, I've had buyers that loved their homes and then became frustrated pretty quickly with the commute times here in Birmingham. The next mistake that buyers tell me they did not think about when they purchased a property was the property taxes and the home insurance. And yes, Alabama is known for some of the lowest property taxes across the United States. And gosh, we're so thankful for that here. However, sometimes the home insurance can be a little bit more than what you expected. Because of our weather here, we do get tornadoes through the area, and property insurance can be higher in some locations than other because we call it Tornado Alley. And so you might want to check those particular areas before you decide to look in those neighborhoods. A great tip for you is when you find that home is to call your insurance provider and go ahead and get a quick quote before you write that offer on the property. Of course, if you're getting a loan, your lender is going to require home insurance on the property. And typically that's within the first 7 days of going under contract. You will get that quote for the home insurance. Mistake number 4 is not getting pre-approved before you start your house shopping. I know. I hear this all the time. Buyers do not want to talk to a lender until they are ready. But here's the thing. If you fall in love with a property and you have not gotten pre-approved and you are in competition with other offers coming in on that same property, the seller most likely is going to put your offer aside because you are not prepared. Being prepared and getting that pre-approval and submitting all those documents that are required by a lender and going through underwriting is going to make your offer so much stronger to a seller. So go ahead and get pre-approved. And one more thing I want to tell you about getting pre-approved. Use a local lender. Don't use these online lenders that are out there. Get a local lender. And let me tell you why. You will have someone with boots on the ground who knows the Birmingham market that can prepare you and fight for you if there's any hiccups along the way. I see it. I have buyers come in that are pre-approved with maybe a lender in their state, or they've gone online, and once you go online you start getting all these emails, you know you do, but then they click on a button and they get a lender who's not local, who doesn't use local appraisers here. And then when we have hiccups, as an agent, it is sometimes very, very difficult to get a hold of these lenders and get the same person to talk to each and every time. So trust me, getting a local lender is going to be vital. If you need some local lenders, I have several that I recommend to my clients, and I'm happy to share those lenders with you. Mistake number 5 is not knowing the most desirable locations in Birmingham to live. And what do I mean about that? Well, the most desirable locations are those typically that are close to downtown Birmingham, if that's where you're going to work, or those areas with the better school systems. And what I mean by a desirable location is not only proximity to downtown Birmingham, if that's important to you, but also school systems do come into play here in Birmingham. So our most desirable communities typically have the most desirable school systems. Now you can go to greatestschools.com if that is important to you, and you can look at the rating of all the schools in the Birmingham area. And one of the biggest drivers of property values is the school systems because, well, let's just face it, that's where people want to live if they have children that are going into the schools. Now, if you do not have children that will be entering the school systems, another reason you might want to live in these neighborhoods is because your property values usually are stronger, and the value with the equity in your home usually increases just a little bit more. That is protecting your investment. Again, if this is important to you, you can go to greaterschools.com. And by the way, you might want to watch my video on pros and cons of moving to Birmingham, Alabama. You can click on the video right up here in the corner. Mistake number 5 is our weather. Now, I love living in the South, and I love living in Birmingham, Alabama. But I want to tell you something. In the summers, it is hot and humid. We have pretty mild winters, which is why this attracts people that are moving from the north to come down here to Birmingham. But be prepared for those hot, humid summers. And with those hot, humid summers, well, our landscape grows pretty quickly here. So get that mower ready if you're going to own a yard, because that big, beautiful green lawn that you've been dreaming of, it's going to take a little bit of work. You know, I've seen buyers that did not budget for the yards, you know, whether they're going to mow the yards themselves or they're going to hire a landscaper. I can connect you with landscapers once you find that perfect home to help you budget those costs. And if you like to travel, you might want to think about a smaller yard, or you might even want to think about purchasing a townhome. The next mistake I see from buyers coming here to Birmingham is not leaning on local expertise. And this is where I see a lot of stress come into play. You're trying to make this move from a different state, but you're not ready to engage or hire someone that is local here in Birmingham that can help guide you through this entire process. So our market conditions are different from community to community. Our neighborhoods are different from community to community. Our real estate contracts may be different from the area that you are in. For instance, Alabama is a caveat emptor state. And what does that mean to you as a buyer? Well, it means buyer beware. We are a non-disclosure state. Therefore, it is going to be up to you to do all your inspections to make sure you are satisfied with the property before you purchase it. You know, I've worked with a lot of folks that, well, they didn't know the ins and outs of the areas. What if you need to be close to medical? What if you need to be close to your job? What if you want to be closer to you're moving here for grandchildren, for instance, and you are desiring neighborhoods that mainly are slab homes, so there's zero walk-in entry, there's no steps coming in. You may not necessarily know that from searching online, but a great local realtor is going to help you with your search and make sure you only get the properties that meet your criteria and fit the needs that you're looking for. So you need someone every step of the way. So don't rely on Google or any of those third-party companies that you find online that you search properties through to guide you in your home search. And how do I know this? It's because I'm a real estate agent here in Birmingham, Alabama. I can certainly save you time and a few headaches, and I would love to chat with you. I have created a relocation guide that you can download in the comments. I hope these tips will help you avoid stress when relocating to Birmingham. And again, don't forget to download that relocation guide in the comments. And if you find this video helpful, please hit that subscribe button. If you know anyone that is moving to Birmingham, please like and share this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.